What if confidence isn't something you build? What if it's something that emerges when you finally stop pretending to be someone you're not? Here's my question to you. How long have you been trying to be more confident? How many courses? How many affirmations? How many fake it till you make it moments have you pushed yourself through? And how much of it has actually stuck? If you're watching this, I'm guessing the answer is not much. And I want to tell you why. Because it's not your fault. You haven't been failing at confidence. You've been solving the wrong problem entirely. Here's what I see in the women I work with, and honestly, what I've lived for a very long time myself. She's capable, she's intelligent. From the outside, she looks like she has it all together. She shows up, she delivers, she holds everything together for everyone around her. And she has absolutely no idea who she actually is beneath all of that. She makes decisions by quietly deferring to everyone else around her, not because she's weak, but because somewhere along the way she learned that her own knowing couldn't be trusted. So she stopped listening to it. She says, "Whatever you want, I don't mind. You choose." And she tells herself she's being easygoing. But what's actually happening is she's abandoning herself over and over and over again until her own inner voice gets so quiet she can barely hear it over everyone else's noise. Does any of that sound familiar? And here's the thing, she's exhausted. Not just physically, although that too. She's exhausted from maintaining a version of herself that doesn't actually fit. From performing confidence she doesn't feel. From living a life that looks right from the outside but feels hollow on the inside. She's not lacking confidence. She's lacking herself. So we've been taught that the answer is to build more confidence. And the personal development industry has made an absolute fortune telling us this story. Affirmations, power poses, mindset courses, pushing through the discomfort. And look, I'm not saying that none of that has value, but here's what I know to be true after years of doing this work, both on myself and with the women I coach. Confidence is not a thing you build. It is a thing that naturally exists when you know who you are, when you are deeply, unapologetically rooted in your own identity, when you know what you actually want, what you actually value, what actually lights you up versus what you've been tolerating. Confidence isn't something you have to manufacture. It just exists because you're not performing anymore. You're just being. The problem was never that you weren't confident enough. The problem is that you've been trying to be confident about a version of yourself that was never actually yours to begin with. So, what does the real work actually look like? Because I'm not here to give you another affirmation sticker to stick to your mirror. There are 3 things that I have found through my own journey and through working with women that I coach that actually create lasting change. The first is understanding how you are actually wired. There is a framework I use in my work called human design, and before you click out, stay with me. One of the things human design maps out is something called your identity center. And for a significant portion of women, this center is undefined. And what that means in plain language is that you are literally designed to be fluid in sense of self. You are wired to absorb and be influenced by the people and environments around you. So if you have spent your entire life feeling like you don't know who you are, like you become a slightly different person depending on who you're with, like you've never had that rock solid sense of this is me, that is not a flaw. That might just be your design. And understanding that changes everything because you stop fighting yourself and start working with yourself. The second is learning to listen to your body. We have been so conditioned to live in our heads, to analyze, to rationalize, to logic our way through every decision, that we have completely lost the ability to hear what our body is actually telling us. Your body holds wisdom your mind will never access. It knows when something is a yes before your brain has processed the question. It knows when something is draining you before you've consciously admitted it. Nervous system regulation isn't a wellness trend. It is the foundation of self-trust. When your nervous system is dysregulated, you cannot access your inner authority. Full stop. Your body has to feel safe before the truth can surface. The third is doing the inner work on the parts of you that are running the old patterns. This is where it gets real because most of us aren't consciously choosing to abandon ourselves. There are parts of us, and if you're familiar with internal family systems, you'll recognize this language. There are protective parts that learned a very long time ago that it wasn't safe to want too much, that dreams were for other people, that being visible was dangerous, that needing things made you a burden. Those parts are not your enemy. They were keeping you safe with the tools they had. But at some point, those protective parts started running your entire life. And what once kept you safe starts keeping you small. The work is not about silencing those parts, it is about understanding them, earning their trust, and gently showing them that you are safe now, that you can be trusted to lead. When those three things come together, self-knowledge, body wisdom, and the inner work, confidence doesn't need to be manufactured. It becomes the natural byproduct of a woman who knows herself. If you're watching this and something in you is recognizing herself in what I've just described, I want to tell you about something I've created specifically for this journey. It's called the Alchemy Circle. It's a 12-week online small group transformation coaching container, limited to just 5 women. 5, because real transformation doesn't happen in a crowd. It happens in an intimate space where you are truly witnessed, where you can do the real work without performing, and where the women around you become part of your evolution rather than just an audience for it. Inside the Alchemy Circle, we work through 3 pillars. The path, which is the curriculum, the clear guided journey from where you are now to the woman you're becoming. The expansion, which is the live group coaching, the being witness, the accountability, the magic that happens when women do this work together. And the community, because transformation genuinely sticks differently when you have a circle of women who are doing it with you. This is not a course you consume and forget. This is 12 weeks of doing the actual work with support, with structure, and with a community that continues beyond the program itself. The founding round is open right now and is limited to 5 women. If something in you just responded to that, and I mean that literally, if you felt something shift in your body, reading or hearing that, that response is worth paying attention to. That is your inner authority speaking. The link to find out more and apply is in the description below. Go and read it, see if it's for you, and if it is, I would love to welcome you into the circle. If you have missed this round, join my mailing list so you know when the next round is opening. And if you're not at that point yet, that's completely okay. What I want you to leave this video with is this one thing. The next time you catch yourself thinking, I just need to be more confident, pause and ask a different question. Ask, who am I really when I stop performing? Because that question, that is where everything starts. I'll see you in the next one.